To protect their daughter, the parents locked her in a machine less than 10 square meters. Even when delivering supplies each day, they stayed far away, avoiding any contact. Because the girl has been suffering from a special disease since she was a child, she could only breathe air filtered by the purification chamber. She thought she would spend her whole life inside that coffin-like box, but unexpectedly, disaster struck. That day, the purification chamber suddenly lit up, and terrifyingly, through the glass they saw yellow gas flooding the streets. The gas was pouring out of the city's sewers, and anyone who inhaled it collapsed instantly. On the street, her father Jack looked horrified, but before he could take 2 steps, he saw an even bigger cloud of air coming towards him. In the blink of an eye, the poison gas was right in front of him. Chaos broke out across the street, and Jack ran desperately back home. Once inside, he quickly pulled his wife away from the window, and the very next second, the gas blurred the glass. It seeped through every gap, flooding into the house. Thankfully, the daughter was safe inside the purification chamber. Jack switched it to power-saving mode, then grabbed his wife and fled upstairs. Seeing the gas rapidly rising through the building, they ran toward higher floors. At last, they reached the rooftop, where a kind elderly couple lived and let them in without hesitation. The mother grabbed the intercom to check on their daughter, and after confirming she was safe, she finally sighed in relief. Then a few people came to the balcony. Looking at the foot of the terrible scene, they cannot speak, but the worst was yet to come. Jack climbed onto the rooftop, and in every direction, the city was shrouded in toxic mist. It looks like a paradise, but there's a killer inside. The poison fog also caused a citywide blackout, though the girl was safe in her chamber. But the backup battery wouldn't last through the night, so Jack decided to hold his breath and go downstairs to replace the battery. When he gets to the hallway, he tentatively stirs up a wisp of smoke. The gas is colorless and odorless, but it's toxic. The trip to swap the battery would take at least 10 minutes. He couldn't do it alone for that long. Suddenly, Jack remembered that an old man downstairs always kept oxygen tanks at home. For his daughter's safety, Jack decided to risk climbing down the water pipes. Just before entering the toxic fog, he took a deep breath, and holding it, quickly reached the target floor. Breaking through a window, he slipped into the old man's apartment, only to find the man lying lifeless on the ground. Jack had no time for grief. He himself was running out of air. Even worse, the old man's usual oxygen tank was nowhere in sight. Panicked, Jack pulled out a flashlight and searched frantically. He turned the place upside down, but still found nothing. Just as Jack was about to suffocate, he finally spotted the oxygen tank in a corner. He rushed over, strapped on the mask, twisted open the valve, and at the very last moment, he breathed in oxygen.